Do you want to be 1,000 rated in chess? Well, I'm going to play a 1,000 rated player right now and show you the good, bad, and ugly, and what it takes to be a 1,000 rated player, and also the mistakes a 1,000 rated player is making. Anyway, without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so the game starts off with typical e4, e5. This is the Italian game with bishop c4. And now here, I want to play knight c3, but I can't because of this. And after I take, he forks my bishop and knight. So I take the pawn back, and what happens is I lose the bishop pair. So for that reason, I play d3 first. That stops that. He plays d5. I take, he takes, and now I play knight c3. So now he takes, but he doubles my pawns, but this is not a bad double pawn formation. It's actually attached to another pawn island. So I call this the Tetris formation. It's okay. And actually, it makes my bishop more versatile because now I can go this way and this way. Okay, he plays bishop c5. I castle, he castles. I get my rook into the game and threatens to win a pawn. He pins my knight, so he indirectly defends. And now I play h3. And here's his first mistake. He should play bishop h5, maintaining the pin and giving me a decision to make. I can't just alleviate the pin because he'll take and damage my pawn structure, and my king's over there. So I'd have to play g4 here, and which would weaken my king side quite a bit. However, he instead of moving back, he took. So you don't want to take the pin. You want to maintain the pin. Now he alleviated the pin, so it made my position more comfortable and also got my queen into the game. And now he makes another mistake. Now knight a5 is a typical move here in this position. However, there's something a little bit different here. Usually my only square is bishop b3, takes, and he gets rid of my bishop pair. However, I have bishop d5 here. So I had an escape square, and now he plays c6, which is another mistake because now I just move my bishop back to an arguably even more comfortable position. And now not only is his knight on the side of the board, but now c6 stops the knight from coming in. So he has no way to get the knight back in the game. He has to play something like b5 and then put his knight to b7 and then, get back in the game that way, which takes time. Okay, so now he played g6, which I thought he would do anyway, which is just trapping my bishop. He wants to trap my bishop with f5, and now I'd be in trouble here, so I move out of the way. He plays queen f6, and I play bishop g5, which is actually a mistake on my part, because now he could play this, and after I take, he now takes the bishop and wins a pawn. So he missed that and played queen e6, so he didn't capitalize on a mistake. That's another thing he's doing. The good things he's doing is he's pretty decent in development. He's castled. He got most of his pieces out, although the knight is pretty bad and the rook's not developed yet. Okay, so I attack the rook and start taking away squares around the king, and I develop my last piece. Now he plays bishop a3, which doesn't really do anything. His bishop was on a decent square and a good diagonal, but now the bishop's out of the game, and I'm really not sure what the point was. And now I set up a trap on myself, but you'll notice the difference how I set up a trap and how the 1,000 rated player sets up a trap. So I played d4. Now, the point is, after he takes, I take, I'm threatening to win the bishop. But the difference is, my trap didn't hinder my position. I set up a trap that also improved my position. So I'm not setting up traps, and if they don't work, they hurt my position, i.e. the knight on the side of the board. So my idea was after he moves his bishop away, I play c3, and I have a good center, and I improved my position even if he doesn't fall for the trap. He attacks my rook, and I play c3 anyway. Now c3 comes with tempo, so that's another mistake on his part. So he gave me this move with tempo, and he goes back to a3. He should have came back to here, actually. Excuse me. So he comes back to a3, and now I start to plan to double my rooks. He attacks my queen. I simply move out of the way, and now he goes on to try to threaten to bust up my center, which is a good idea in general. However, tactics supersede strategy, and in this position, I have a tactic. I have bishop takes b7, which attacks the queen because there was a discovered attack there that he missed, and now I'm attacking a rook. I also got a pawn, and I'm going to win the exchange. So I'm going to win decisive amount of material here. I don't want to take the queen here because I don't want to invite his knight back into the game. So I took the rook, and now when he takes my queen, I take back, and he takes. Now I play pawn takes c5. Now the point behind this was after he takes back, notice how his knight stays on the side of the board the whole game. This is pretty typical when players put their knight on the side of the board. It oftentimes never gets back into the game. So try to avoid putting your knight on the side of the board unless you have a really good reason to do it. And now here, you'll see everything comes into fruition that I was doing the whole game. I'm attacking his bishop, and if his bishop moves away, I'll take his knight. He should probably just play this because he's moving his bishop out of the way and protecting the knight, but he played what I thought he would play. He played the decisive mistake, rook c8, which defends the bishop, but it really doesn't because this bishop, remember I said I was taking away key squares of the king? Everything comes into fruition at the end of the game when you're putting your pieces on good strategic squares. So right now I have a tactic. Try to pause your videos and find it. It's not too hard to find. I played rook takes c5, and now after he took back, he got checkmated. Well, there you have it. Some key takeaways here in this game. Don't put your knight on the side of the board. Oftentimes, it never gets back into the game. And don't set up cheap tricks that hurt your position. Traps are okay as long as they also improve your position at the same time. And always look out for tactics. If you get to 1,000, if you want to get to 1,000, avoid hanging pieces in one move. Basically, just stop hanging pieces. And if you want to get above 1,000, don't fall for cheap tricks. Don't set up cheap tricks. And try to put your pieces on good squares. And don't do things that hurt your position. Anyway, if you like this video, check out this video. It's another good one. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any further content. Now get out of here. Go play some chess.